यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनं नायं लोकोऽस्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा. Krishna says that people who eat the remnants of sacrifices attain the eternal state of Brahman. For those who do not perform sacrifices, there is no happiness or spiritual progress. This verse teaches that practicing in or benefiting from the spiritual offerings of sacrifices leads to reaching a higher eternal state. Krishna emphasizes that performing sacrifices is essential for spiritual well-being and that without them one cannot find true happiness or fulfillment. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे. Krishna explains that there are many types of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas and they are all connected to different forms of actions. By understanding these sacrifices and their significance, you will achieve spiritual freedom. This verse teaches that recognizing and practicing the different forms of sacrifices helps one understand their role in spiritual growth. By knowing and performing these actions correctly, a person can attain liberation or freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Shreyan dravyamayadyajnaj jnanayajnah parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Krishna tells Arjuna that sacrifices involving material things are not as beneficial as sacrifices made with knowledge. All actions eventually lead to or are completed by understanding and wisdom. This verse emphasizes that while material sacrifices are important, gaining knowledge is even more valuable. True spiritual progress comes from understanding and wisdom, which ultimately guide all actions to their highest purpose. तद्विद्धि प्राणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानै ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Krishna explains that to gain true knowledge, you should approach a wise teacher with respect, ask thoughtful questions and serve them. Such a teacher who understands the truth will share their wisdom with you. This verse teaches that gaining wisdom requires a respectful attitude and willingness to learn. By serving and inquiring respectfully from knowledgeable people, one can acquire deep understanding and spiritual insight. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि. Krishna assures Arjuna that once he gains this knowledge, he will not be confused anymore. With this understanding, Arjuna will be able to see that all beings are part of himself and of Krishna. This verse teaches that true knowledge leads to a clear understanding of the unity of all beings. It helps remove confusion and allows one to see the interconnectedness of all life with the divine presence. Api chedasi papebhyas sarvebhyah papakrittamaha sarvai jnanaplaveinaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Krishna assures Arjuna that even if someone has committed the worst sins, they can overcome all their sins by gaining knowledge. Knowledge acts like a raft that helps cross the ocean of sins. This verse teaches that no matter how great one's past mistakes may be, acquiring wisdom and understanding can lead to overcoming them. Knowledge is powerful and purifying, capable of removing even the deepest of faults and leading one to liberation. Yathaidansi samidhognir भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा. Krishna explains that just as a strong fire turns wood into ashes, the fire of knowledge burns away all the results of actions. This means that wisdom can completely purify and eliminate the effects of all deeds. This verse teaches that acquiring true knowledge is like a powerful fire that consumes all previous actions, leaving nothing behind. Knowledge has the ability to cleanse and purify, overcoming the consequences of all past deeds. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramih vidyate tatsvayam yoga sansiddha कालेनात्मनि विन्दति.
Krishna says that knowledge is the purest thing in the world. A person who has perfected their yoga practice will eventually find this pure knowledge within themselves. This verse teaches that knowledge is the highest form of purity and spiritual enlightenment. Through dedicated yoga practice and self-realization, one can discover this profound and purifying wisdom within themselves.
श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति.
Krishna explains that a person who has strong faith and is dedicated to learning while also controlling their senses will find ultimate peace soon after gaining knowledge. This verse teaches that having faith and dedication to learning along with self-control leads to profound inner peace. Such a person will quickly achieve tranquility and enlightenment through their commitment to knowledge.
अज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परो न सुखं संशयात्मनः.
Krishna warns that those who lack knowledge and faith and who have doubts will not find peace or happiness. Such people will miss out on both worldly and spiritual benefits. This verse emphasizes the importance of faith and certainty in one's spiritual journey. Doubt and ignorance lead to loss and unhappiness, both in this life and beyond. Faith and knowledge are essential for achieving true contentment and spiritual success.
योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणि ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तन्न कर्माणि निबद्धन्ति धनञ्जय.
Krishna explains that a person who has given up the attachment to the results of their actions through yoga, who has cleared their doubts with knowledge, and who is self-aware, is free from being bound by their actions. This verse teaches that when you practice yoga, gain wisdom, and understand your true self, you are no longer tied down by the consequences of your actions. This leads to freedom and liberation from the cycle of actions and their results.
तस्मात् ज्ञानसम्भूतं हृस्त्वं ज्ञानासीनात्मनः चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत.
Krishna advises Arjuna to use the wisdom of knowledge to cut through doubts that come from ignorance. He should focus on practicing yoga and rise up with determination. This verse teaches that doubts and ignorance can be overcome with wisdom and dedicated practice. By embracing knowledge and yoga, one can clear doubts and achieve spiritual progress.